back to NASA Edge. Live coverage of the Venus Transit 2012. We're at the summit of Mauna Kea, just outside the NASA IRTF telescope, which is the infrared telescope facility. And with me, we have a special guest, Andy Lunt, who is the owner of LuntSolarSystems.com. How you doing, Andy?
Good, thanks, Chris.
Andy's been very fortunate enough to provide us the 3 telescopes that we're using for the transit today: white light, calcium K, and hydrogen alpha. So, Andy, just tell us your initial feelings, the initial thoughts being up here on top of Mauna Kea for the transit of Venus, and we're not going to see one in our lifetime.
Well, I can tell you, I've enjoyed immensely being up here with you guys for the last 2 days, running around and trying to get all these telescopes up and running in this wind. My wife gave me a very inquisitive look.
White light telescope hooked up to our red camera, our 4K camera. Provided by this is the first time that Andy has worked with a red camera, actually the Mount Time red camera, that he's trying to record 9-degree images or video from the sun in 4K. So this is a learning experience for all of us. I would say probably the most expensive gap between the telescope and the camera itself. So we had to cover that up because the camera quite like
We've done a little on that case. Some people might start asking questions.
You want to move on to the calcium K? So what we're going to do is we're just going to move on over here. If my wire lets me.
A semi-narrowband filter system, in that it's again a standard refractor system on an 80mm diameter objective. Most of the filtering on this system is done at the very back. The very first filter system that we have in here is an IR blocking or an IR reflecting coating that pushes the energy or the heat back out of the telescope. Once we get to that, we can get into various trimming filters and various induced transmission filters that get you to the essential, to the calcium K. Calcium K in this case is pretty much just into that edge of viewing. The yellowing of the eyes as you get older won't allow you to actually look through this visually. So we're very fortunate today that we do have such a sophisticated camera on here, and as you can see on here, we have quite a few little plage areas where we can actually see where the common wavelengths to look at until people can start imaging. Again, because it was so difficult to look at, kids can see it easily, but as you get older and the eyes start to yellow, adults have a very hard time. I'm very fortunate, even at my old age, that I can still see calcium K. It's good because I have to test every single one of these that goes out of my facility. So I'm very fortunate. But as the cameras have become more advanced and we can actually start imaging through this system, it really has taken off. I would say that sort of 10-20% of what we sell now is calcium K, and it is quite interesting. It's definitely a step up from a white light, as you can see from all the sunspots on there, and there's a little bit of activity going around. What is really neat, of course, is when a CME goes off. For the longest time, people thought, no, there's no calcium K in a CME. But what we found out through a lot of amateur astronomers around, they overexpose the edge of the sun when a CME is going off, and you can actually see the ionized calcium leaving the sun, which has been kind of neat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm hoping for Holly Gilbert's sake, because she's
this particular hydrogen alpha telescope incorporates what is probably the most sophisticated filtering system available on a solar telescope. The Lunt solar system basically is the heart of the system is sitting right here. This is what's now considered an ultra-narrow band filter. This ultra-narrow band filter puts out a bandpass of approximately 0.7 angstroms. We have another ultra-narrow band filter.
Está en vivo, desde la NASA. Un telescopio. Ese es Venus. Este es el Sol.
In the 1870s and 80s, Jesse James robs a bank, 3 stagecoaches, and 3 trains. Barbed wire is patented, which will end the open ranges of the American West. Levi Strauss markets blue jeans with copper rivets, price $13.50 for 12 jeans. Thomas Edison patents the incandescent light bulb. And the public is wild about the coming of the Venus transit. Even a march is composed by John Philip Sousa in honor of the event. Scientists travel to various locations around the globe to witness the transit of Venus. One such mission went to Hawaii on September 9, 1874, nearly a century after Captain Cook had charted Hawaii. A ship from England, HMS Scout, sailed into Honolulu Harbor, carrying an expedition of 7 astronomers. The mission of the Express had been in 1769 to observe a rare transit of Venus across the sun for the purpose of better determining the value of the astronomical unit and thereby the absolute scale of the solar system. Scientists had determined that Hawaii was an important place to observe the transit. Its island location offered an unobstructed 360-degree view of the stars, and the position of Hawaii near the equator afforded one of the best views of Venus. The team at Earth's place within our solar system was confirmed to within 1 million kilometers of the value used today, as found through modern-day satellites and radar. Today we know how vast our galaxy is,
Hoy
how tiny our place is in it.
se los traduzco.
Majestic vision of the stars is seen by
Bueno, están diciendo
the Hubble Space Telescope
que hoy,
to the sky.
quién sabe.
Scientists wonder again.
Bueno, es Júpiter, están diciendo toda su historia, están diciendo cómo se formó, cómo está formado el universo, lo grande que es, formado por una gran explosión de varios elementos. Y están pasando la programación de cómo se ve Venus al lado del Sol. Oh, estoy en mi telescopio viendo el sol. Vean. Este es Venus. Oh my God. ¿Qué va a pasar? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Venus se está quemando? No lo entiendo. Wow. Ese es el sol. This is our sun. Oh, pero vean nada más la grandeza. Lo que es la naturaleza. Vean el sol. Ay, me emociono. Bueno, esta es la página de la NASA. Y hoy martes 5 de junio están pasando en vivo como Venus va pasando, creo, acercándose al lado del Sol. Ese es Venus. Wow, es sorprendente.
And we're back, and I'm here with Troy Klein, who's actually more than just a social media and outreach person for Sunrise Days, and more than just an MMS guy. He's a friend of NASA Edge. We've worked for years together on various projects.
I've had an absolute blast with you guys, and we've done several podcasts together over the years, haven't we?
Yeah, lots of trips, lots of activities.
Looking for a sign.
And one of the things that's really interesting about that, we are not allowed to use cell phones up here because it interferes with the operation of the telescopes. And of course, as you know, these telescopes are all operational. They're not taking a day off for the Venus transit. I mean, obviously IRTS functions at night primarily, but nonetheless, some of the other telescopes you see in the background, they operate and they are not shutting down today. They're observing. Things are in full swing here. So we can't use these new technologies here. In fact, you see, we're on wired mics.
That's right.
Wireless mics.
You know, the hardest part for me has been when I realized today I couldn't use
Desde la
podcast
NASA.
because it uses Wi-Fi and I can't use Flickr, so that I've been going through withdrawal.
Yeah, we're going to do a nominee barn raising after we're done. After the
I'm all for it. I'm all
it's
for it.
actually great fun. Your next big project.
It is.
Working on.
Blair, that's an amazing mission that's being put together right now. They're building it at the Goddard Space Flight Center, and it will launch in 2014. And what's really great about this is we've been using the NASA Edge team as our official podcasting team, and we
Oh, qué
two
asombroso.
videos and two podcasts.
And then
That you can see.
there are four identical spacecraft, right?
That's right. There are 4 spacecraft. They're roughly about 11 and a half feet wide, the Fab 4. We've been coming up with names for them lately, too, actually. And but those